Welcome, in front of me is a Honor X6 and today I'll show you how you can apply a tempered glass to this device. So I'll be using a tempered glass that is designed for a different phone, but if I dry fit it you can see that it's basically perfect for this display. You can see that it covers it entirely and leaves very little exposed, so that's what I'll be using. I got basically an entire box of those, so there we go. And that's the reason why it fits is basically this tempered glass is kind of like a universal size. I assume most of the manufacturers that make these kind of phones, or different ones as well, use displays from Samsung. That's why this one fits over a lot of devices. But anyway, jumping to it, in the box, apart from the tempered glass, should also have, there we go, wet and dry wipe. Now, if your wipes look like this, chances are they're both dry. And in this case, just heat them out and use something like a microfiber cloth if you obviously have one. Now, if your tempered glass came with something like this as an example, then that's great. This one works fine. It has a nice little wet alcohol pad right here. Then we got a kind of like a fiber cloth right here. Those are great. You can utilize those if you have them. I will be using just a microfiber cloth for this as this one and nothing else. But obviously you can use whatever to get the job done. The important part is to get the screen clean. And that's the first thing. Now the reason most of these wipes come with alcohol is because if you have some kind of like finger grime or finger like oils tend to make different stuff not stick too well to surfaces, so alcohol removes that. But also if obviously you wipe it well enough, you're gonna remove it too. So yeah. Now when cleaning the display, you want to make sure that you get rid of any kind of like bumps and just any kind of grime. And the next thing you're gonna worry about is the dust, and that's what you're gonna primarily focus on once the display is focused or clean, because any kind of dust particles on the display will or could cause the tempered glass to not stick fully to the display. So it will create an air bubble that will be very hard to get rid of. So something to keep in mind before you apply it, just make sure that there's no like dust particles on your display. So anything like, if I can find one, so for instance like right here there's a dust particle, and this one right here, you would most certainly want to get rid of it. Now, moving to the glass, when you're applying it, actually, there we go. When you're applying the glass, the way I do it, what I find to work best for me is to start off from the top. If your tempered glass has a cutout for the camera, or either hole or this kind of teardrop, align it with your camera on the device. Pinch the tempered glass from both sides like this, because once you peel obviously this thing off, this side will be sticky. So from there you will basically place it at an angle, kind of like this. And while placing it at an angle, just make sure that it is positioned correctly from, like so. And pinching it at the top, start pinching the bezels of the phone as well. This will allow you to kind of make sure that it is positioned roughly in the middle of the display. And then while either pulling it, you're gonna make sure that it is right at the bezels right here, and that it's also evenly spread, so the distance between the bezel on the left and right side is about the same. You don't need to be super precise with this, just roughly close enough. The reason for that is because you're gonna do the same kind of logic at the bottom with the bezels of the phone. You can just shift it left and right, and then just drop it once you feel that it's in the middle. So there we go. Now that's the basically cliff notes of applying the tempered glass. And that's what I would consider to be the only thing that you need to do it correctly and have it evenly spread. So now let's jump into application. Now, before I peel it off, I'm gonna mention that some tempered glasses do have 1 and 2, or just like start, finish, something like that. In any case, if you have 1 sticker or 2, you're gonna always begin with the number 1. I'm gonna peel that off. So whatever I'm gonna peel off right now, what I'm gonna be holding right here is something that you throw out. and that will leave in your right hand, at least in my right hand, just a tempered glass with exposed sticky side right here. So I'll then apply it like this. Anyway, I just give it a last wipe, make sure that there is no dust. And I think it's good to go. So once you wipe it off and there's no dust, jump straight into applying it. And there we go. And as you can see, it's now sticking to the display. Perfect. There we go. As you can see, it's now fully applied. And you're good to go. So if you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and thanks for watching.